Clear the streets. The Markles are back. We don't need another PR disaster from Meghan and Harry's new fake royal tour.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the King YouTube channel.
Well, folks, according to the latest updates, Harry and Meghan are planning to go back to New York for the first time since their near-catastrophic car chase next week. So Meghan and Harry are planning to host their very first in-person Archwell Foundation event, and it's going to take place on World Mental Health Day on October 10th. A source is claiming that Harry and Meghan are being so hands-on with parents involved in next week's event, with some suffering tragic losses in connection to social media. But the trip is also important because Harry and Meghan haven't been back to New York since May, where they claim to have been in a near-catastrophic car chase with paparazzi. Is that another fake royal tour I smell? I mean, has Batgrid been informed yet? Are they going to use the same cab driver, I wonder, as last time? Will Meghan make her grand entrance through a Hertz rent-a-car place? And I hope they don't forget to bring Doria along to remind us of the right color scheme. By the way, Doria wasn't scared at all in that fake car chase scenario. You could see in the photo she was falling asleep or she was on her phone. I mean, seriously, at this point they've got to be joking, right? But anyway, back to this big event. So at the Archwell event, Harry and Meghan are going to try to build awareness on how to make online usage a safer space for parents and children. The source told People magazine the families have been engaged with the Archwell Foundation for the past year, bolstering community and driving towards solutions. Together, they are united in their mission to share personal experiences, data, and research to ensure the same does not happen to other families. Okay, so let me get this straight. We've got, on the one hand, a guy with some severe mental health problems himself and some drug addictions too, and then we've got an ex-yacht girl who couldn't even last within the royal family for 18 months while threatening to take her own life. So these two are going to be helping parents and children with mental health. Who exactly could they possibly help? They obviously cannot even help themselves. Who wants to hear about mental health from a couple of people who caused so much mental anguish on 3 elderly people, 2 of whom died in misery, and their surviving grandparent is still suffering? And let's not forget about all the nasty things Harry wrote about and Meghan said and implied about other members of the royal family. What kind of family could ignore all of that? What kind of family is going to want to play their games? In her cut interview, Meghan said that she did not sign an NDA with the royal family, so she can say whatever she wants to say. And she also said she has a lot more to say. So you know she is going to make up a lot of hateful stories about the royal family again in the near future. What about that Archwell slogan, compassion in action? Meghan and Harry should really think of changing that one. Trainwreck in action is a lot more like it. Until they have figured out their own mental health problems, they should stay far away from the whole topic of mental health. And I'm sure they're going to make this event all about them as usual. I do wonder, though, if they're going to ask people to donate money. Remember, only 5% is ever going to go to charity and the rest is going to go straight into their pockets. I also wonder what all Meghan's going to try to do in order to not be booed. I'm sure she'll be personally selecting which media outlets get to be there. And what about the audience? Is she going to pick them too? Are they going to all have to sign NDAs that forbid anybody to say what they thought about the whole event, to say anything bad about Meghan or Harry? And what kind of ugly, ill-fitting outfit is she going to wear? The 2 of them are such phonies. There is nothing real about either of them. Everything is just so transparent and so carefully curated. It's disgusting. I really hope the New Yorkers just let them have it. I hope they show up with placards calling them out for all their BS. New Yorkers are not too afraid to speak their mind, so I hope they let the Harkles have it. And we love to joke about them, but there's something that we actually cannot joke about. There's something pretty frightening going on. Harry has teamed up with some very rich people to try to silence the media. They've been buying up some struggling community newspapers, and Harry has moved from the UK media to the US. See, Harry's got a real problem with any media outlet that dares to report and analyze his behavior honestly. He does not appreciate scrutiny. He doesn't like being criticized. And so he's going to silence anybody who dares to speak out against him. Oh, I know. He announces to anybody who will listen that he loves equality. Don't believe it. What qualifies him anyway to be a part of the Aspen Institute? Well, first, he began muzzling the media at the local level, and they've been working their way up to the mainstream media. I'm sure WME and their agency is going to have to pull out all the stops with the big rent-a-crowd after all the negative attention. They really are on their last legs at this point. One thing that's going on right now, too, is that YouTubers have had their channels taken down, or they're given a really hard time for made-up violations. Recently, some critics of Meghan and Harry have had to change their tunes, and they've started making excuses for them. They've started allowing for some of their nasty behavior. Mainstream media will deactivate a comment because of naming a country or using a word like silly or something ridiculous like that. And all of it is just set up to try to frustrate the person commenting. Most people will just give up trying to find the word that's so offensive, and they'll end up not posting anything that's unfavorable. Let's remember, the mark of a robust and vibrant society is a strong, free, and vibrant opposition. It doesn't matter if it's against the government or against the wealthy, the famous, and the powerful. If you take that away, you're going to end up with a very depressed country and society. It's going to be boring, it's going to be monotonous, it's going to be homogenous. But see, that's exactly what Harry wants. Harry doesn't want people to be free to say whatever we want to say, because then we might say something negative about him. Harry and Meghan and all their wealthy friends don't believe in opposition. They don't believe that anyone should be held accountable for their actions. They do not believe in freedom of speech, unless, of course, it's positive for them. Let's remember, Harry is the same person who referred to the First Amendment as bonkers. Guys, we have got to fight against this trend of canceling people in the media for stating a contrary opinion. I mean, even if it's crass, even if they use offensive words, we have got to stand up for their right to say it. Unfortunately, though, it seems like the government lately is run by fear. Fear of social media, fear of what people are going to say. So few people working in government these days have the strength to actually do what needs to be done to stand up for what is right. I'm reminded of that quote that's often attributed to Voltaire, but actually wasn't Voltaire. I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. There's a very good reason that the First Amendment is the one that guarantees freedom of speech in the U.S., because yes, it is the most important thing to society. Sorry for going off on a bit of a tangent, but I think you can understand why I am so passionate about this issue. But anyway, back to this ridiculous Archwell event in New York. I wonder if Meghan and Scooby-Doo have figured out the attention-seeking victimhood story they're going to tell everybody. Who could forget about Omid telling us all that the car chase reached speeds of up to 80 miles an hour? And what about those vehicles chasing after Meghan and Harry? Oh, well, they were their own security vehicles. I bet the mayor of New York and the NYPD are excited right now. I'm sure they're just wondering what stunt they're going to pull this go around. Let's just hope they have not been in contact with Jussie Smollett, right? I will say, though, the good people of New York do not deserve those two to show up in their city again. New Yorkers apparently are already complaining about this to the mayor after the fake car chase story, and they're also upset about that gag order for those poor teachers and students at that school in Harlem. They are still recovering from all the accusations made by Harry and Meghan about their last visit to New York, and also the fake car chase by imaginary admirers has not been forgotten. Last time, the city of New York was very generous in providing them with extra police protection. So did Harry and Meghan put in a new request for more taxpayer-paid security? I'm sure they did. After all, that's one of their favorite things in this world. Security paid for by somebody other than themselves. That woman is sick in the head, and Harry, he's just about as bad as she is. All they're going to do is use this as another way to create a victimhood narrative. They'll get up there and share their tales of woe under the guise of helping other people. But as always, it is for their own interests. Maybe it's about time that somebody sat them down and told them a cold, hard truth, that they're completely irrelevant and nobody cares what they have to say. Meghan is an ex-mattress actress, and Harry's not a very intelligent person. I understand he has a very famous family and some very respected family members, but Harry, nobody really cares about you personally. I do think the royal family did a great job of covering up what Harry was really like, or maybe Meghan really has changed him that much. I don't know. The jury's still out. But the thing is, Harry is not bright enough to understand that Men in Grey actually did an amazing job. They made him palatable. And now he's left to his own devices, and what we're seeing in front of us is not a pretty sight. And you, what do you think about Harry and Meghan? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. And if you think my video is useful, don't be afraid to like and share it with your friends and relatives who would enjoy it too.
Please don't forget to subscribe to our The King YouTube channel to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a lovely evening, and we'll be back to see you tomorrow. Bye. I love you all.